Hi, good morning. I've just had breakfast, time for coffee. And I started to comb out my hair and realized that it was sticking and tangling, and I was going to wind up ripping it out more than combing it. So I got out my trusty bristle brush. These are fabulous. I have 4 of these, so I can have one in the bedroom, one in the bathroom, one in by my desk here in the kitchen, and then there's another one we use on the dog. And and I also have a small version of it. Don't go anywhere without it. And here's the thing. If you have a burn or a wound that's itching, it's the best scratch. If you have a hairless dog with itchy skin, it's the best scratch. I use it to scratch around my ostomy appliance because I'm allergic to the tape. And so on a regular basis, my skin goes off like klaxon warnings of itchy. If I scratch it with anything else, it's going to well up, blister up, and break open, and I'm going to have wounds, which are a nuisance. But when I scratch it with this, I get a satisfying scratch without the wounds. It's just, it feels so good. It also feels good on the head. So I got out my brush, and I got out my argan oil from Josie Maran. There, it's actually labeled. You can actually see it. Wow. There it is. Josie Maran argan oil. Love the stuff. I actually buy bigger bottles of it. This was the sample bottle they gave me that got me started on it at Sephora. And since then, I just refill this and keep it in my desk. So I put a bunch of drops on here. I put a eyedropper full on here and comb through. And I think I went through about 3 eyedropper fulls and brush it through. And now my hair is nice and sleek and shiny and it combs and brushes well. I think I still do have some tangles in it. I'm not sure. Let me see. No, maybe not. Now that this stuff here is not as long as the rest of it, I'm waiting for it to grow out. I want to grow everything out the same length. I did also cut like a little forelock I had that was short. So I've got, that's the longer stuff. This is the forelock growing out, the bangs as it were. And then this is the full length of the rest of my hair, which has been shaved down the back because of all of the lovely hot flashes I enjoy. It allows me to put absorbent cloths here for the sweat so that I don't have drenched hair because it's a sweat ring. So we're just combing out all this hair. It was braided overnight. That's why it gets wavy. Otherwise, it's pretty much straight. My hair is straight by nature. And it gets wavy as a result of being braided or possibly a bit of wave if I dry it wet. And I don't use a blow dryer. I have one and I can. I have used it, but I try, my hair is getting longer. I'm trying to get it long. I want it down to my butt again like it used to be before I was ill. And it's getting there. It's getting there. So, but what I did notice was that these ends are getting kind of scrappy looking. They're really thin and flimsy. And I thought, it probably doesn't look that great at the back. So I'm going to cut about this much off. And I own a pair of barber scissors that I probably need to get sharpened, but they work. They still work great. So step 1 in cutting your long hair is to have it thoroughly and well brushed and brush it towards the back. You want it all falling straight from the head on the back, because when it's at the back of your head is when people are going to see it. And one reason I only cut it about every 5 to 10 years is because I don't see it and I don't therefore get triggered. And so I don't really care. Doggy wants out of his basket. There we go. So the first thing you're going to do after you get it all, the second thing you do, first thing you do is comb it all straight to the back, more or less. The second thing you do is make a very tight ponytail right at the nape of your neck, very tight. And you want to keep that centered as much as you can, because this is what's going to determine whether you have a straight cut or not, is very tight ponytail. You don't want that hair shifting or moving once it's tied. This is going to keep it all in line when you bring it around to the front, so that you don't, because you can't bring it, Like if you bring it around to the front like this, then the hair here will be shorter than the hair here because this has further to travel. Same goes this. The hair on this side is shorter because it has further to travel. And of course on this side. So the idea behind the ponytail that's very tight is that the hair will stay organized the way you've cut it. So that when you bring it round, and what I do is I hold the elastic in place when I bring it around in order to not accidentally yank it. And then I bring it around. Wait, is it combed enough? Yeah. At this point, if I was to brush it, I would disorganize the hair. So actually, I'm going to take a second elastic and and put it about halfway down the strand. I could do that from back here. Yeah, it's already getting, see, this is where having help is really nice. You know, my arms bend farther than average, but not that far. So now I'll just reach behind my back, pull to organize the hairs and make them all pull the way I want them to. Oh, and one more turn of the elastic. Here we go. The reason I have such flexible arms is because I have a blackhead that will never go away, that itches periodically, that I have to, right there. That's it, right there. And so I'm always scratching my back. And I appreciate that I can still reach like that. So now I can bring the hair around front and it will stay more or less organized as I have left it. And it's time for Snippy Clip. I really should have put something to catch all the hair. I will often do this over the sink, but I'll just do it right over my desk. I just gather the hair gently because I don't want to cut too far back. See, I just want to cut the scrappy bits just to even it up. So just snip it off. Move my coffee, make sure it doesn't fall in my coffee and my keyboard. And do that in the camera, which is less convenient for me. Oh, my scissors are dull, my friend. Dull. They're pushing more than cutting. I wonder how I fix that. Like, do I buy new ones, or is there someone in this world that actually still sharpens scissors? And how do I find them? Well, it's not hair salon level, but that's okay, because in point of fact, once I start manipulating this hair, you'll see that these scrappy bits just, you don't wind up with a straight edge. The idea is to have it straight from side to side, not straight at every instance. But there you go. Then I do the same thing this direction, being very soft and loose and careful, so I don't, you can actually see that some of the hair is longer than, and some of it's, you know, there's extra slack in some and less in other, and that's because some of it's because of the curve of it. So we'll do that again on this side. Same thing again, but a lot less cutting. Just anything that sticks proud of the bunch will get cut. And I'm always holding it here so that I don't pull up the strands, because I don't want the hair in the ponytail to shift at all. So there's not much sticking proud. There's just a couple of little bumps here and there, a little bit of mussy bits. Okay, so that's the initial cut. Now I take the ponytail out. Whew, that's a lot of hair on my table. I gotta remove that before I continue. Or the next thing you know, I'll sneeze and blow it everywhere. Or something equally unpredictably horrible. So now, it's the trouble with trying to comb it through, but center part, and I do this by feel. I know I can feel where the middle of my head is. So I hit it with the center part, just like when I'm braiding it. And then brush it all smooth and lovely and nice down the center part. And you'll see when you do this that you have freshly cut hairs that are a different length from the rest. And that's okay. We're not cutting the length again here. What we're going to do is even up the two sides to make sure that they're even. So I bring them all forward. Bring them all forward like this. And compare sides is what I do. Actually, I like to put them together into a ponytail here, but I don't put the elastic on. I just do this. And trim the really long bits off again. See how this is the fresh cut, and then these are actually not fresh cut at all. So we're going to cut them back. There we go. And this will actually give my hair a shape like this, because these end bits beside are the sides. But there, that's all I do. When I check again to make sure they're even here, even enough, and that's cut. That's how I cut my hair. That's it. I don't know. I can't see it, so I guess if I review the video, I can find out if I made a mess of it. But yeah, it's waist length, and it might get down to butt length. It's been growing. So that's really attractive. That's really satisfying. And while I'm talking about hair cutting, I'm going to share with you another trick. I dated a hairdresser once, and he taught me this trick. You take a strand of hair. Oh, are we shaving the undercut? No, I'm not shaving that. I do that in the bathtub. Do I always keep it long? I cut my hair short once when I was 23, and I regretted it bitterly. I missed it. I kept trying to pull my hair, and then I'd get here, and it stopped. I was like, I miss my hair. I like to pet it. And I missed the feel of it on my back. Shaq wants me to cut his hair. Her hair? Yeah, I can cut your hair. I can shave your hair. Sure. But, I'm not a hairdresser, so I wouldn't recommend it. I'm just too cheap to pay for a hairdresser. They charge a fortune for long hair. They get nice results, but they charge a fortune. Timmy wants back up. Ooh. Hi, Shaq. Cute dog. So here's another trick. As I said, this is how I deal with split ends. Take a small strand, and yeah, it takes a long time. And what I used to do was when I was in university, I used to sit in class, and I would just sit there with my scissors. And this annoyed the professors. But I mean, if the light's good, and the light's not great here, but what you want is a very high contrast. You wrap the hair carefully around your finger, and then you brush up and you look for split ends, and you say, okay, that end is split, and you cut it. That's one way. And then you work your way down the strand of hair doing that. And as hairs flip up, you look for the splits and you cut them. You find a split and you go snip. And you just do that all the way down the strand of hair. You can do it with a comb as well, which is really good for making those ends pop up. Just wrap that hair around the comb. Wait, I'm doing this backwards. I can't remember how I do it. It's been a while since I did this. Yeah, like this. And then you look for ends and you snip them. And then the third way to cut split ends out of a strand of hair, again, you're working with small strands, is you twist it. And as you twist it and bend it, you will see the ends pop out. I have so few split ends. It's amazing, actually. That argan oil is beautiful stuff. Also, I don't generally use shampoo. I use conditioner in place of shampoo. So could I sit back and cross my legs while I comb my hair? Dude, this isn't porn. I'm sorry. We're not going there. I'm not satisfying that urge in you. No. I get it. You have a long hair fetish. That's okay. I'm glad you like it. But no, I'm not going to start doing poses on command to get you off. No, Sorry, Shaq. You're asking too much. I'm a 55-year-old woman, and the thought of you getting off on me because I have long hair is not attractive. It's actually, ew. I'm not into it. I'm transgender too, so there's the heart of a man in me. So anyway, here we go. Snippity, snip, snip. That's how I snip. That's how I snip the split ends. Tell you what, Shaq. If you want to donate $100 to my Patreon account, I'll have a nice private session not wearing anything special, but I'll sit back and cross my legs and comb my hair. No, there's nothing wrong with having a fetish. I just don't want to be your fetish object. That's all. It's just, I'm not into it. I'm asexual. I'm not into it. Okay, so anyway, there's like no split ends at all. I can't believe this. I can't find split ends. I'm looking and maybe, oh, there's one. So yeah, that's how I do my hair. That's it. That's how I maintain it. And then the shavy bits, that's just to make me look tough and keep the bullies at bay. Because as an autistic, I've had a lot of bullying. Thanks for visiting me, Shaq. I hope you've had fun. Don't tell me about it. Bye.